slightly different edition, mainly because I wasn't sure at first if I was going to do one tonight. Just haven't had a chance to watch back highlights of the games and stuff like that. But I thought, why not? It's a nice summery evening in England at the minute, especially in Liverpool. So why not go on a walk to Anfield, take you along with us, and talk about a lot of things to do with the football, a lot of things to do with Liverpool right now, and maybe a few things to do with the channel. But yeah, it says there's 2 people watching currently. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay, because obviously I'm on my phone, which I've not done a video like this in ages. I don't know if the sound's okay. Hello from Egypt. Hello in Egypt. Which is funny you mentioned Egypt, because we'll be talking about the Egyptian king later on in this video. But let's get to Anfield first. I need to cross the road, so I don't want to go into full depth of a conversation and then concentrate on crossing the road. Sound good? Good. So yeah, if you're watching, let me know in the chat that you're watching. I hope you're all well. Hope you had a good weekend. Hopefully Liverpool's result didn't affect your weekend too much. Was not the best result, but you know what, we've not lost an away game all season, and in the Premier League we only lost 1 game all season, so that is something to be proud of. It's not a massive, it feels like a massive loss, but it's not a massive loss, if that makes sense. But yeah, as for our game, I felt like first half defensively we were terrible. I just felt like I don't know what was going on. Obviously Canate didn't have his best of his games, which is odd to say about Ebo, so you know what, we'll take the odd blip now and again. Second half, how we didn't score after Diaz's goal that took it a 3-2, I don't know. I felt like we were all over them. We had really good build-ups in attack. I just felt like it's been a few times we've seen it this season and the season before, where Liverpool just can't finish the project by getting either a decent shot on target or just somehow managing to find a way to get the ball in the back of the net. Jack says, hi Courtney. Hello. Luke, saw Red or Dead at the Royal Court on Sunday, would highly recommend, Courtney. I was looking at going to watch it, but by the time I found out about it, tickets were already on sale and couldn't really get a good seat. So I've given it a miss this time. Hopefully they run it again and I get to see it next time. But yeah, I'm outside Anfield now, so let's sit on the bench for a second so I can read the comments a bit better. Let the sun not get in my eyes as much. KD says, hey Courtney, hope you're well, how's your day been? Not too bad, thank you. But yeah, so yeah, going back on about our game, yeah, like I said, I don't know how I just felt Fulham played pretty well yesterday, but they had that luck in the second half where after Diaz scored and we're on that attack, there seems to be someone there constantly to block the ball in some way, shape or form. We'll say that McAllister's goal, unbelievable goal. The atmosphere in the away end sounded amazing in them first, well, until Fulham come back to win it. Jason, you did so well on the fake fan show, destroyed them blue noses. Thank you. That's been a really tough secret to keep, the Find the Fake Fan with Sports Bible. We filmed that in October. So yeah, it's been tough to keep a secret, but yeah, if you've not watched it, go and check it out over on Sports Bible, it's really good. But yeah, so as well, I wanted to mention, I'm not going to be going into like all the other games today, just because, one, to be honest, I didn't watch much of the other games at the weekend. I did try to watch the United and the City game, but ended up missing it just because I had to pop out of the house for a bit. Ended up missing more of it than I was expecting to. But I will say the last half an hour, I think it was, United looked really unlucky not to score. I don't know how it was earlier on in that game. But yeah, I wanted to mention now about obviously all the transfer contracts and all that going on at Liverpool at the minute. And actually, while I'm saying that, we'll walk up to one of the murals for one of them players. So obviously came out, was it last week before, that it does look like it's confirmed on Real Madrid's side that Trent will be joining them next season on a free after his contract runs out at Liverpool. I don't really want to get into that much because I don't want to be negative on him before he leaves. But I think I've made it clear a few times my thoughts on that. Just, yeah, nothing we can do about it, but unfortunately it sort of tarnishes as Trent's legacy, and I can't think of the word, legacy, and yeah, just his legacy at Liverpool. I just think Trent's tarnished that a bit. Going on to Virgil, obviously there's been a few clips come out recently. I saw there was one at what was like a Cadbury thing. I know Virgil does stuff with Cadbury, so there was like a thing where I think people had won through Cadbury a chance to sit in almost like a press conference style thing with Virgil and ask him questions. And someone asked him the question about his contract, and on it he says, I want to make this clear first before I go on about what he says. I've noticed with Virgil, he always says the club and the fans. So the club and the fans is two separate things to Virgil. I feel like the club, he means like the staff and that, and everyone that works at Anfield. I think when he talks about the fans, obviously that's something different. So in this he says, I love the club and the club loves me. He says that there's still discussions ongoing. He said there'll be news in the coming weeks. He doesn't know whether it'll be good news or whatever. But to me that was interesting. But then apparently there's been another one that he said, I think it was yesterday after the game, and he says the discussions are ongoing, but it felt like a positive way. It wasn't like him being like, yeah, they're ongoing. It was more like, yeah, they're ongoing. So I think Virgil's like ready to sign. And then I don't know if anyone saw the other day that Mo Salah was in Liverpool City Centre down at Albert Docks filming with the LFC crew in LFC training gear, and we don't know what that was for. So that's going to be interesting to find out if that was for a contract. But I think there's also been stuff in the press today about Salah's contract. I'm just going to keep an eye on these comments. Arsenal can only get a maximum of 83 points, pending the rest of the results will be on 73, so we literally need 10 points to win at this point. Too much head loss and knee-jerk reaction about our loss at Fulham, definitely online. You look tired. I'm not tired, I just don't have makeup on. So I'd already had a bath. So you should do a chippy walk where you vote on a live poll what you get. I'm a very fussy eater, so that will never happen. Red Rebellion says, I have even heard people say we are not allowed to lose matches. Utterly ridiculous, definitely. We'll be champions, the team's doing great, but why do I miss Klopp? I shouldn't be, but I do. I think everyone in some way misses Klopp, but we also we love Slot now. So yeah. Veronica, hi Courtney, are you going to the game on Sunday? I am, and I'll get in a little bit more on that in a bit, but just wanted to say I'm at Trent's mural with everyone who were just having that little chat over Trent. And obviously there's the last mural from when we won the Premier League, which was in COVID. Jordan Henderson lifting the trophy. Who thinks there should be another one celebrating this season? And how do you think it should be? Obviously, would you have Slot on it? Would you have Virgil on it if Virgil is going or staying? We don't know. Would you have maybe a few players from the squad? Or would you just have something that's like trophy and fans related, I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see if there is anyone. Like, there is one for the Premier League after this season, if hopefully, fingers crossed, it happens. I don't know of anything yet that's going on, but obviously I usually find out off Murals when it's happening, so I'll let you all know with that if we're ever working on a new one. Alex, hope you can bounce back from our defeat at Fulham. We will. Like, it's not something to be like, oh, we're not going to bounce back. We bounced back from Forest beating us at Anfield, and that ended up with us not losing a league game in, is it 7 months I was reading, or was that an away game in 7 months? But yeah, it's not something to lose your head over at all. Mahmood, do you think Diaz, Nunes, Jota will stay? Jota, I'd take Jota leaving over Nunes, in all honesty. I just, for a while now, I've been worried about Jota injury-wise, and I don't think he can start games. But yeah, I think Nunes could possibly go. I think we all sort of know Nunes is going to go. Jota, obviously I've said my little bit on that. Diaz, I think, stays. I don't think anything happens with Diaz. Jack says, always love to see new murals. There may be some coming. Can't say more than that, but I do know of some that are coming. Nothing to do with what I've just asked about. I just thought I'd ask that while we were there. Because that really, like, the Trent one kick-started the murals. But the Henderson one kick-started Murals in Liverpool and kick-started me working with them, so that's always a pretty cool one, I say. Cameron says there'll be Curtis up there in place of Trent next month.
Oh, you're not tough.
So Michael says, I'd love to see a mural type. And a mural type of the Strand and the Albert Docks when we win. That makes sense. Veronica, who do you think will be our vice captain next season? So if Salah stays, I think it'd be Salah. Personally, for me, and that might be something, to be honest, that they're offering Salah in his contract, is the vice captaincy, saying, look, we know Trent's not signing a new contract, we'll offer you the vice captaincy along with everything else. For me, I'd love to see Alisson be vice captain. I think the times he has been given the captain's armband, which hasn't been much recently, but I do love it when Ali's captain. But for me, I do think if Salah stays, I think Salah becomes the permanent vice captain. So, but yeah, it's weird. Obviously, a lot of people in here, I don't know if you live as close to Anfield as I do. I live like literally 10 minutes away. 10-minute walk, if that. And it is so weird when you come here and everything's shut. Stadium tour's done. Shop is shut and it is just empty around you. It's so weird going from a match day to this, because I've not done this walk at this time of day in a while when everything's shut. So it is pretty interesting. Michael says, isn't Robbo the one next in line for captaincy? I still can't see Robbo being the vice captain, because to be honest, I don't, if we can get someone signed, I don't know if we'll see much of Robbo next season. I think he'll still be here. I just don't think he'll be constantly starting every single game next season. But yeah. Alex says, I would love to go to Anfield, still haven't been. Even if you get the chance to just visit Liverpool and visit Anfield, like do the stadium tour, do a walk around like I do now, it's pretty cool to be able to do. Jack saying Macca would be a good shout. Red Rebellion apparently are waiting for the railway link to get sorted and the next phase of expansion can start. I've not heard anything of that. To be honest, if you live near Anfield, you'll understand that the Kop, I don't think the Kop could be expanded much, like to make it worth their while. Because obviously I'm in front of the Kop now, so I flip around. So there's the Kop. Say they expanded it just to where the gates currently are. You then need to do something about the road, which to make it like, you'd have to basically change the route of the road. And there's obviously like a church, there's the park pub, there's buildings down there which the club do not own, that they'd have to purchase, knock down and reroute this road around because they need to give themselves area like this. So I don't think the Kop, anytime soon at least, I don't think we'll see the Kop. I think the Kop's going to be like something in maybe 20 years time. Centenary Kenny stand is a little bit different. Obviously you've got what used to be the players' car park there. Now the players tend to park in the players' entrance themselves now, the day before a game, and then they get the bus to the hotel. So yeah, for me, I could see possibly Centenary / Kenny, something happening there. But again, I'm not sure how they do that as well, because that's quite a narrow bit of stand already, but you never know. I wouldn't expect an expansion so much of the stadium. Obviously they have announced they're doing an expansion sort of thing with the club store. I'd maybe expect to see like a regeneration project of the surrounding area to the stadium, like actually on the stadium's ground. So obviously if you look over there by where you've got the main stand and the Annie Road look very similar the way they do, but then you get here and it's all old tarmac and a little bit uneven. You have got a little bit of pavement over there, but like this and the Kenny stand, very similar outside, like sort of it. I'd expect to see maybe them try to do something with that bit of area. That's like, I don't have any knowledge on that, but I'd expect to possibly see that. Like I said, it's like car park spaces here that there's no need for there to be car park spaces. So I'd expect maybe to see them at least resurface this area and probably resurface by the Kenny. I think it would make it all feel like it's like the stadiums are all one part, if that makes sense. Because at the minute it is very much like you've got the Kop, which is like the old classic, and then you've got like the main stand and the Annie, which is new, and then you've got the Kenny, which is sort of in the middle. So yeah. Cameron says maybe they could increase the gradient of the Kop to increase capacity without expanding the footprint. I don't think they could do that too much, because they'd still have, so if I turn around here you can see that is actually, so there is actually the step, well, where the seating is on the other side of that concrete. So it's already steepish, it's not that steep. Obviously main stand and Annie are steeper in the upper sections, but then obviously you'd have to build upwards, so you still have to build, and I don't know, I can't see that happening. Yeah, and there's height restrictions too, but to be fair, there is quite a bit of height difference between the main stand and the Kop, so they could go up to the height of the main stand, but I can't see it. If it was all railed standing, maybe they could, but we'd never do that. Safe standing, yeah. I'm surprised Anfield Road upper, when they built it, was never given safe standing, to be honest. And I don't know if that's a thing with being the upper, but even just the back of it, like behind the hospitality seating area, do that as safe standing. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, with that being said though, I think I'm going to end that here because we've actually been talking for 20 minutes. I've enjoyed this chit chat version. I am going to run over a few things quickly, which is the Patreon draw for the like monthly giveaway. Last month, so March, was a signed Darwin Núñez print and Paul Marshall won that. So congrats to Paul. He's messaged me, I'm going to send that over to him at the end of this week. April's prize draw is going to be a little bit like an LFC goodie box / mystery box full of a bunch of really cool LFC stuff, as well as a signed programme by Phil Neal and Jimmy Case, and also I believe Becky Easton, but I can't remember at the time and I can't figure out the signature. And then I've also got a signed John Aldridge Anfield Road sign, which is going to be included in that. And then also for May is the one probably you're all going to be the most excited about, and that is this season's top, signed by Luis Diaz and framed, all from Red 1892 memorabilia. So that is really cool prize to keep an eye out. And obviously I thought I was waiting for us to reach 100 on Patreon, but why not do it to celebrate the end of the season and possibly what could happen at the end of this season. So keep an eye out for that. Also, I will be at the West Ham game on Sunday in hospitality thanks to Seat Loader. So I've worked with Seat Loader before, you can go and check out their videos, but I've bought a ticket through them, so really looking forward to that. It's going to be really fun. I was struggling to get a ticket. I have a 5% off code for them. I know everyone's struggling to get tickets at the minute, so I have a 5% off code with them. So if you put Courtney 5 in, knocks 5% off the price. And I've basically been working with them, and they messaged me and they went, do you want to buy a ticket off us? And I thought, I didn't think of that. Yes, I do. So bought a ticket off them for Saturday's game. So there'll be content all about the hospitality again. Not as in-depth as it was last time, but I'll still show you it all, because I think there's always something different in hospitality. I feel like that you go, oh, that's something new. So really looking forward to that. Obviously as well, I feel like it'd be a bit of a nice treat as well, being it towards the end of the season. And I've been a little bit stressed out lately, being quite busy. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, stuff that is to do with football that I'm still going to be producing content for, that I'm waiting to hear back on. So listen out for that if it happens. And yeah, I am going to Florida in August. So the end of August, beginning of September, there's an international break. I'm going to be over in Florida for that. So there'll be loads of content from Florida. If any of you just like Disney or theme parks or Epic Universe, which is just open, to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Cameron says get those tickets sorted quickly. Definitely. I think Newcastle, I only just got myself sorted for. Southampton, I literally like that got myself sorted for, and I've heard of none other tickets. Usually like I'll get a ticket and then there'll be someone who'll message me like, oh, do you need a ticket, that and know, and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorted, but thanks. Even after I've got sorted, I've not even heard of the chance of anyone having a spare ticket. And it's been the same for the West Ham game. So Seat Loader did save me there, and it probably save you a lot of yous if you're desperate to be there for that last game of the season, or the game against Arsenal or Spurs, if that could be the games where we win a thing. Keep an eye out on Seat Loader, and like I said, use Courtney 5 for 5% off. It is obviously quite pricey as it's hospitality, but it's one of the cheapest hospitalities there is. Like I said, get that extra 5% off. And I will be honest, people who are selling tickets, that's if they have them tickets or not, and this is just for general admission, will be charging more for those games than what hospitality is currently selling for on Seat Loader. So I'd suggest going to check them out, because people are starting to really up prices for games. People that are doing the tickets out on, which I don't agree with. But obviously going the hospitality route, you guarantee the ticket then, so there's no stress. So yeah. Dave says, hi Courtney, so you won't guess the fake Everton fan, how did they not know? True, Liverpool A true LFC girl, you have this amazing Liverpool channel, and they still did not get you. Well done. They actually do check, I think, when you could either apply to be on it or you could get reached out to. I got reached out to, and I think they check to make sure you aren't following each other, because there was other people I know that were looking at going on it, and they found out they were following me, and they were like, oh, sorry, you know someone who's going to be on it. So I think they sort of check, but there still was a chance they could have not followed me but seen some of my content before, which was a worry while I was in that room. But yeah, it was really fun to do. But yeah, that being said though, I really enjoyed the chat. I'm going to head back home, probably watch the Newcastle game. Newcastle are playing Leicester, so that's going to be interesting. That being said, I'll see you all on Sunday when Liverpool take on West Ham. Thanks to Seat Loader, and if you go back on previous videos, Seat Loader and Patreon are all linked in the description below. Didn't manage to do it with this one since I was on my phone. But yeah, that being said, see you all next time.